This is Agust D, also known as Sugar, and today we are reviewing 3 videos. I hope this goes well. I think it's gonna go well, so go ahead, get you something to eat, something to drink, and just come back here, chill with me, because we're gonna be spending some time. We have part 2, we have Haegeum, and we have Amygdala. I hope I said Haegeum correctly. And if I have mispronounced anything like already, or I will, like as you're watching this video, please correct me. Go to the comments and let me know, point me to a resource, because I always want to make sure that I'm honoring the artist and the language. And so please let me know. I also want to point out that there was a content warning that came up for Amygdala, which was just released today. And so I want to honor that by mentioning it here. And because I'm going to be reviewing, I may touch on those topics such as suicide or self-harm or something related. And so you as the viewer, I want to encourage you to pause the video or step away if you need to, and don't feel like you need to continue on if you feel triggered, because I want to make sure that you're able to honor how you're feeling in the moment. But okay, I am excited to get going. And so this is how it's going to go. We're going to do video and then review. Video review, video review. I should also mention that I have not seen any behind the scenes footage or any interviews pertaining to this project, and so I might be missing some information as far as significance or meaning when it comes to lyrics or what we're going to see visually. But I have looked at the lyrics for the songs. Definitely checked out Dulcet Bangtan. I believe 2 of the 3 songs have lyrics posted so far, and then Genius also has a version, I believe it's for part 2, that was posted. But I think that's all I wanted to say so far, and I guess makes sense that this is the longest intro for the longest video. All right, check this out. But if you're ready, say yeah. Say yeah, yeah. But they usually say oh. Say oh, oh. All right, we're gonna do the remix today. Let's go. I like this tone of color, black and white.
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know anything there's no. So time is here, now right it go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
사랑이라는 말 어쩌면 순간의 감정의 날 조건이 붙진 않은 무얼 사랑하는가 충분히 사랑받지 못한 나이 그래서 무엇보다 신중한 타입 나는 말에 원해 진중한 사 알잖아 영어는 못했어 잔잔한 파도에도 힘없이 쉽게 무너져 상실은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려운 게 슬픈 거야 두려운 게 슬픈 거야 So far away you're gone Getting far away
Looks really clean.
Too far away you're gone I know I have to
like that.
know yeah.
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know anything there's no. So time is here,
That bass nice
now
right there.
right it go.
He looks great in that shot too.
Doesn't know anymore.
당신은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려움이 큰 거잖아 함께 미래 그리던 우리는
I
어떤
like
싸움
that.
모든 성들을 부셔버린 것은 우린 걸 승패가 없는 게임이라지만
That
난
background
언제나
is
게임
speaking.
루저 모든 걸 주겠다던 우린 모든 것을 부셔 그리고 떠나지 사랑이던 사람이든 모두가 이기적이기 때문이야 So far away you're gone Getting far away Too far away you're gone
I like that harmony.
have to know, yeah.
So time is here, now right it go. I know you know anything there's no. So time is here, now right it go. Nobody doesn't know anything.
사람 떠가는 사람 사랑의 끝은 과연 무엇일까 수많은 사람 스쳐간 사람 사랑은 사랑으로 완벽할까 그래 말야 이타적인 게 어쩌면 되려 이기적이네 널 위해 한다는 말은 곧 내 욕심이기에 욕심을 버리면 행복해지고 채우지 못한 반쪽짜리 허사 삶은 저항과 복종 사이의 싸움이라는데 내가 보기에는 외로움들과의 싸움이 내 눈물이 터져 나오면 그대 울어도 돼 당신은 사랑받기에도 이미 충분한데
It fits the song so well.
대부분 다 뭐 사람들한테 전달하고 싶은 이야기도 있지만 나 자신한테 이야기를 하는 것처럼 들린다라는 이야기를 많이 들었거든요. 사실이기도 하고요. 그때 당시에 코로나로 여러 가지 것들을 할 수 없을 때 굉장히 모든 것을 잃어버렸다라고 생각을 했을 때 썼던 곡이기 때문에 나 자신한테 되게 해주고 싶었던 이야기였습니다.
All right, first, I would love to say that I appreciate the ending message because it was very sincere and honestly very timely. I feel like thoughts of the pandemic have been coming up for me lately, and I've been considering what I wanted to say and things that I had in mind before versus now where we are. And so I really appreciate him adding that part and including it in this video. And for the music, I really loved his tone of voice. I feel like it was very fitting for this song. And honestly, his delivery, it felt like a conversation, like somebody who is comfortable with you. And although they may be saying things that are uncomfortable, they have that level of comfort with you where they can say them and have such a open conversation with you. And along the lines of comfort, I feel like him and the featured artist sounded really good together. The featured artist is IU or Lee Ji-eun, but I'm not sure that I pronounced any of those names correctly, so I apologize if they were mispronounced. But I want to say you did your thing. Seriously, I enjoyed your vocal performance in this song, and I feel like the two of you paired very well together, and it added to that sense of comfort and familiarity. That was a word I was looking for. Visually, this video is very interesting to me when it comes to the lighting, because I feel like there are a few themes that come to my mind. Number one being this sense of like fading, going from light to dark or dark to light. And there are particular shots in the video where on the screen you can see that it looks like the colors are fading from dark to light, either around the edges or from one side to the other, or the light coming in, shining in from one side where it's clear that it's coming in from a certain direction. But that seems to be fitting for this song because it makes me think about things fading, things changing, things transforming, that sort of thing. There's also this really compelling shot to me at about 59 seconds where you see Agust D and he's behind what appears to be like a pillar or like a post of some sort from inside the house. And this is interesting to me because typically you would want the artist to be fully captured, seen without anything hindering it. But because this is shot this way, I feel like it's an intentional decision. And when you think about the lyrics even, there's something that comes to mind thematically that I feel like helps this tie together. The us that dreamt of a future together is no more. We're the ones who tore down the sandcastle. This is significant to me because it points out how there are essentially two different versions of who you are that's being spoken of. So when I think about this shot, I think about how you're seeing two different sides. You know, you get two different perspectives. Even the glass fence that he's posted up on, or that's like behind him essentially, it has a portion where it is held together by like a pillar, and then there's a portion where they're apart. And so again, it's bringing to mind like there was a time when we was, but now I don't know. And you sort of see this continued at about 1 minute and 30 seconds, I want to say, where there's this beautiful shot, great lighting, and you see the shadow of him right behind him in like a very clear way. And I feel like it just brings up that, those differences, the two different perspectives or the two different desires that you might have, or, our shadow side, the things that we're trying to work through and the things that we're struggling with, or whatever it might be, versus who we are on a daily basis or how we present in our daily lives. Even the pool shot at like 3 minutes, 22 seconds or so, go there. Because if you look, I want you to look close. If you look at the pool, the floor of the pool, like the tile, whatever material it might be, the shapes, they're going horizontal from what I can see. But then the deck around it, those pillars are going vertical. And then you have Agust D, who is posted up, sitting, but in a way that is not pointing in either one of those directions. It's not quite one way, not quite the other. And to me, it kind of brings to mind thinking of something, considering something, indecision, being torn, being unsure, that sort of thing. And visually, I just really like this shot because it looks cool. The pool looks dope. I would love a pool like that. And overall, I really liked how the visuals progressed, where you start to see him more and more living in that space. He's relaxing. You see him in his element in the studio. You start to see him, I believe it's a dog, next to him. You start to see him by the pool, and the space continues to get bigger and bigger. And so it brings up this other theme to me of enlightenment or new things, where the light, there are particular shots where the light is really on him, where it's like literally he's shining, and the space continues to get bigger and things continue to expand and we continue to grow. All right, but those are my thoughts for this one. So let's keep this party going. If you need to re-up on whatever you were sipping on or eating, whatever you got to do that. Or if, you're watching this on your phone, take me with you to the kitchen. What we going to get? But all right, let's continue to video number 2. Mott's fruit snacks. I love these. It's a lot different than part 2. Let's go. Oh, this is a movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 이 노래는 해금, yeah. 올라타봐 지금, yeah. 복작되는 리듬, 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금, yeah. 이 노래는 해금, yeah. 올라타봐 지금, yeah. 복작되는 리듬, 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금, yeah. 이 노래는 해금, yeah. 올라타봐 지금, yeah. 복작되는 리듬, 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금, yeah. 해석되는 자유, yeah. 개소리는 out, yeah. 표현들의 자유, 어쩌면 누군가의 조금 달고 그거한 자유일런지 당신의 판단과 추측이 확실한 신념들이 있는지 당신의 자유와 타인의 자유가 동일하다 믿는지 그렇다면 주저 말고 올라타봐 금지된 것들로부터 해봐 각자의 취향조차 이해들을 못하는 불행한 이 시대를 살아가는 이들을 위한 이 노래는 금지된 것을 푸는 것뿐이지 허나 자유와 방종의 차이지만 부디 구분하길 yeah. 이 노래는 해금 올라타봐 지금 복작되는 리듬 또 다른 해금 이 노래는 해금 yeah. 올라타봐 지금 yeah. 복작되는 리듬 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금 yeah. 이 노래는 해금 yeah. 올라타봐 지금 yeah. 복작되는 리듬 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금 쏟아지는 정보들은 상상의 자유들을 금지시킨 가동시의 사상의 통일성을 원해 왜 내 머리 앞에 각종 오이즈는 눈을 가리고 이제는 생각에 좌우조차 범의 각종 논란들은 판단들의 혼란들을 야기시키고 또 쉴 틈 없이 생산되네 과연을 금지시킨 건 무엇일까 어쩌면 우리 자신 아닐까 자본의 노예 돈들의 노예 중고심과 편견 혐오의 노예 유튜브의 노예 플렉스의 노예 이기심과 탐욕이 미쳐나지내 눈 감으면 편해 모든 게 뻔해 이득에 따라서 뻔히 갈리는 결의 시기와 40초에 다들 말해놓은 둘이만의
Go,
서로가
life.
서로에게 적세를
Right.
거는 것도 모른 채 정보의 쓰나미에서 쓸려 내려가지 말길 우린 자유와 방종의 차이지만 모두 구분하니 yeah. 이 노래는 해금 올라타봐 지금 복작되는 리듬 또 다른 해금 이 노래는 해금 yeah. 올라타봐 지금 yeah. 복작되는 리듬 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금 yeah. 이 노래는 해금 yeah. 올라타봐 지금 yeah. 복작되는 리듬 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금 yeah. 이 노래는 해금 yeah. 올라타봐 지금 yeah. 복작되는 리듬 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금 yeah. 이 노래는 해금 yeah. 올라타봐 지금 yeah. 복작되는 리듬 어쩌면 이 또한 또 다른 해금 yeah.
Ooh. Let's go.
또 다른 해금
Okay, check this out. I want to say a few things before I say the thing that I really want to say. Vocals in the pocket. He is in there. Because let me tell you, it is not easy to go through different changes in rhythm and cadence within the same rap verse and stay in the pocket. Now, I wanted to check out the lyrics, and so Dual Set Bangtan is the resource that I used, and I want to point out some of those lines because I'll tell you why. And there is a description of the term Haegeum, which has multiple meanings, and I believe one of those that was used in the video, according to this resource, says it means the lifting of a ban or a prohibition. And that makes a lot of sense considering the lyrics. Should such freedom be allowed as freedom? Are there definite convictions behind your judgment and speculation? Do you believe that your freedom is on the same level as others? If so, don't hesitate and just get on board. Liberation from the forbidden. For those living in this unfortunate era who don't even understand their own tastes, this song is simply freeing the forbidden. And this is refreshing to me for more than one reason, but especially because it causes me to think about some of the origins of rap and hip hop and how many times it was used as a tool to speak out against oppression or injustices. And so I find it refreshing also that you're getting a picture of his perspective and some of the things that he's thinking about. Okay, so now on to what I really wanted to say, which is that this needs to be a movie, a drama, a short film. I want to see him playing both these characters, and I want to see the story progress. Let me tell you, my favorite thing about this video is his performance, but especially his body performance, like how he embodied the entire performance. I was trying to find like another word. I ain't find it. I thought the lighting and the colors in this video were really compelling and just visually captivating. Like really, it's shot so well. And even the transitions were nice. They had these interesting transitions where there were quick moments of like these bursts of color, whether it was at like 2:04 or so, and then again at like 3:05, particularly the water scene, like head in the water, and then whoop, we in another place. Also at like 1:42 or so, there's this shot that I really like where you have him in the middle and there's just a variety of different shades of the colors that he has in his wardrobe. Kind of this color spectrum of like blues to greens, and then you have like orange to beige sort of happening, if you know, if beige is the correct color. I'm not great with colors all the time, but it's something like that. And around him, you have a variety of different objects and things that kind of cover that spectrum, but it really helps him appear to be like in his natural environment. Shoot, one other thing. I also found it interesting how he, towards the end of the video, has this scene where he is out of the window of the car, like he has his hair blowing in the wind, that sort of thing. It reminds me of something that the Joker did in the Batman movie The Dark Knight. I think there's a scene like that where the Joker kind of like has his hair blowing in the wind, that sort of thing. It's interesting. I don't know if that was anything purposeful or like a connection that was trying to be made or not, but I just also found that to be interesting. But all right, I want this to be a movie, and that's that. We have one more video, and it is the most recent of the three, so let's do it. Dark background, like dark setting, similar to part 2.
I don't know your name. I don't know your name. I don't know your name. 요즘 기분은 어때? I don't know your name, your name, your name. 기억들로 여행 지우고픈 일들 요즘 기분은 어때?
Background.
1994 내가 태어난다 엄마 심장에 수술 별의별 일이 많았지 뭐가 이리 다 살아난지 기억조차 안 나는 기억도 다 꺼내보자고 하나씩 다 꺼내보자고 하나씩 최선들의 선택 최선들의 선택 최선들의 선택 원치 않던 일들 내 통제밖에 일들 샷을 받았자 한들 그래 한들 그래 한들 I don't know your name 기억들로 My Amygdala, my Amygdala 어서 나를 구해줘, 어서 나를 구해줘 My Amygdala, my Amygdala 어서 나를 꺼내줘, 어서 나를 꺼내줘 My Amygdala, my Amygdala My Amygdala, my Amygdala 이곳에서 구해줘 어서 빨리 꺼내줘 그래 참 별의별 일이 많았지 길가에 너무 심장시계 소리 전하지 못했던 내 사고 소식과 스케줄 중에 걸려 온전한 아버지의 간암 소식 최선의 선택들이 맞아섰길 그 또한 모두 지나가버렸길 그래서 이 수많은 고통은 날 위한 것일까 끊임없는 시련은 날 죽이지 못하고 다시 끝나는 연꽃이 피워내 최선들의 선택 최선들의 선택 최선들의 선택 My Amygdala, my Amygdala 어서 나를 구해줘, 어서 나를 구해줘 My Amygdala, my Amygdala 어서 나를 꺼내줘, 어서 나를 꺼내줘 My Amygdala, my Amygdala My Amygdala, my Amygdala 이곳에서 구해줘 어서 빨리 꺼내줘
Okay. Well, first, let me start by showing my appreciation to Agust D. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to be vulnerable and to allow your vulnerability to be expressed through song and for your experiences to be expressed visually. And I hope you feel heard and seen and that you receive fulfillment and goodness and abundance from you giving this offering to people. He goes through and at some point starts to name different experiences, different pain points, things that have taken place. And there are a particular few lines that really stand out to me. I can only hope that my best choices were the right ones because they too have all passed. Would it be that all these pains are for me? The never-ending trials failed to kill me, and once again I bloom a lotus flower. And even lines like the first best choices and then the second best choices and then the second best to the second best choices. I think that's what really gets me because on a personal level, I have experienced self-harm before. Um, Cutting, I've experienced that. I have also at some point in time gone through a period where I wanted life to be over for me. And I know that feeling of making a choice and hoping that it's the best choice that you can make, or trying your best to make the best choices essentially when it seems like there's one thing after another, and ultimately you just want to not be in pain. And yet on the other side of it is this blooming where even though there's so much muddiness, so much mud, so much dirt, you don't know where that ends. On the other side are these moments of growth within that mud and just a blooming of flower. And I love that that reference is included in this song, and that there is this like this window of hope. And even along the lines of what it means to express something visually, like an experience visually, but an internal experience visually, I found starting at like 256 or so onward, that section was really compelling to me. I really love the camera work and how the floor essentially starts to become vertical. And honestly, that's how it feels sometimes when you're in that space. It feels very disorienting. It feels like on one hand, I know what I'm trying to do, or I know where I'm trying to get, and yet at the same time, where am I? What is really happening? Why does this feel like I'm trying to scale a wall, essentially? And even how they depicted this section, it was like a large dark space around, and internally it could feel like a big void, like you're just a small thing in this large space, and then at the same time it could feel small and suffocating. And even with the rain coming down, it could feel largely uncomfortable, but all happening internally, and sometimes it could be hard to just articulate it or express that to somebody. And one of the main things that comes to mind now that I've seen a few videos of his, especially as a solo artist, is that he really seems to be a physical performer. To me, he just has this way about how he carries his body, how he moves his body. And when you watch all three of these videos, it's like you're watching three or more different versions of him based on the song, based on the lyrics, based on the setting. It really is him being able to embody a particular moment. Overall, I really like how these few songs that I've heard so far are soulful, but then they also have some pop slash like R&B and then like alternative flares to them. And so I really like the soundscape overall. The songs are dope, and so I really like that. And this was my first time experiencing him as a solo artist. As some of you may know, I am new to BTS as a whole and the individual members, individual projects. And so this has been an opportunity for me to get to learn and get to experience their music. And so if you stuck around until this point, I want to say thank you so much. I also want to encourage you that if you resonate with some of the things that I said about this last video, then please know that you are not alone. You are not alone. And I encourage you to use whatever resource you have available to you, whether it's professional or it's just someone who will listen to you. Thank you for spending time with me, for getting all the way to this point. If you're still watching, I totally appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed it. We made it to the end and I am proud of us. Yes, but that is it for now. So please take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself because you matter and it's worth it. I will check y'all out later. Bye-bye.